Linear equations are equations in which the variable is raised only to the power 1. It can be written in this form. So ax plus b is equal to 0, for example. And x is the variable. So x is the variable or the unknown. And a and b are the constants. There's one condition: the a must be different than 0. Okay. Let's go to an example. Example 1. A. We have 4x minus 1 is equal to 7. So we have an equal sign here. That means that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. We have to solve this for x. So we have to find an expression for x. What we have to do is actually isolate this x. And we have to work step by step. So I see a minus 1 here. I would like to get rid of the minus 1 first. I can get rid of the minus 1 by doing a plus 1. But if I do a plus 1 on the left-hand side, I also have to do a plus 1 on the right-hand side. So that becomes, on the left-hand side, 4x, and on the right-hand side, an 8. And then I have to get rid of the 4. So to get rid of the 4, I have to divide the left-hand side by 4. But if I do something on the left-hand side, I have to do exactly the same on the right-hand side. I have to divide that by 4 as well. So the left-hand side becomes x and the right-hand side becomes 2. And the answer here is 2. Okay, let's go to B. I have 5 minus 3x, which is equal to 6. So I have an equal sign. Left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. I have to isolate x again, so I have to find an expression for x. The first thing is I want to get rid of the 5 here. I can get rid of the 5 there by doing minus 5. If I do that on the left-hand side, I have to do that on the right-hand side. So 5 minus 5 is 0, so I get like a minus 3x on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side I have 6 minus 5, which is 1. The next step is I want to get rid of the minus 3 here. Like the x is multiplied by minus 3. To get rid of the minus 3, I have to divide by minus 3. I do that on the left-hand side, so I have to do it on the left. I did it on the left-hand side, so I have to do it on the right-hand side as well. So that becomes, on the left-hand side, x, and on the right-hand side, minus 1 over 3. It's always the reverse operation that you do. So here, for example, in red, I have a minus 1. I subtract. The reverse operation of subtraction is addition. So I have to add a 1 here. And I do that on the left-hand side, so I have to do it on the right-hand side as well. In this case, x is multiplied by 4. To get rid of the 4, I have to divide by 4. So the reverse operation of multiplication is division. So this is basically how equations work. But of course, after making a lot of exercises, you don't have to write all those steps. You can work a bit quicker and faster. So let's do A again. So I have 4x minus 1, which is equal to 7. So I have a minus 1 here. I want to get rid of that. How can I get rid of that? I move it to the right-hand side. And here it's a minus 1. If I move that to the right-hand side, it becomes a plus 1. So the reverse operation. So I have 4x, which is equal to 8. And then I have 4 times x. I want to get rid of the 4, so I move it to the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, it's a multiplication. When you move it to the right-hand side, it's the reverse operation, which is a division. So x is equal to 8 over 4, which is equal to 2. So let's do b again. So I have 5 minus 3x, which is equal to 6. I want to get rid of the 5. I move it to the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, it's plus 5. So on the right-hand side, it's minus 5. Minus 3x is equal to 1. I have a minus 3 times x on the left-hand side. So it's times. When I move it to the right-hand side, it's a division. So x is equal to 1 over negative 3 or negative 1 over 3. Yeah. You can choose which method you use, but after making a lot of exercises, you should be able to do it like in the second method, like quicker. Okay, let's go to the next example. X over 5 minus 3 is equal to negative 1. Let's solve A. So I have to get rid of the minus 3 here. I can get rid of the minus 3 by moving it to the right-hand side. It's a minus 3 on the left-hand side, so on the right-hand side it becomes a plus 3. So x over 5 is equal to 2. And then, because I want to isolate the x, I want to get rid of the 5 here. On the left-hand side, it's divided by 5. So if I move it to the right-hand side, you have to multiply it by 5. So x is equal to 2 times 5, which is equal to 10. B, I have 1 over 5 times x minus 3, which is equal to negative 1. Okay, first of all, let's get rid of the 1 over 5. It's multiplied here by 1 over 5. So, or let me simplify the left-hand side first. I have here x minus 3 over 5. Multiplying by 1 over 5 or dividing everything by 5 is exactly the same. So I want to get rid of the 5 first. I can get rid of the 5 when I move it to the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, the 5 is in the denominator, so I divide the left-hand side by 5. When I move it to the right-hand side, I have to multiply it by 5. So I get x minus 3 is equal to negative 5. And then I want to get rid of the minus 3. So there is a subtraction on the left-hand side. When I move to the right-hand side, it becomes an addition. So minus 5 plus 3. So x is equal to negative 2. Here is x equal to 10. And here is x equal to negative 2. I can always check my answer by filling it in the equation. So replacing the x by 10, 10 over 5 minus 3, which is 2 minus 3, and that is equal to negative 1, and that is the right-hand side. Do the same for b. 1 over 5 times x, and I will replace the x by minus 2, of course, minus 3. So we get 1 over 5 times negative 5, which is equal to minus 1, and that is the right-hand side. So better if you check your answer to make sure it's correct. Okay, double check is always good. Okay, let's go to a more complicated example. Like in this example, I see the x 2 times. So it appears twice. What we have to do is, we just have to expand our left-hand side and simplify it. So in other words, I do 3 times 2x, which is 6x, 3 times negative 5, which is minus 15, minus 2 times x, which is minus 2x, minus 2 times minus 1, which is plus 2, and that should be equal to 3. So then we have 6x minus 2x, which is 4x, minus 15 plus 2 is minus 13, and that should be equal to 3. So I want to get rid of the negative 13 here, so the minus 13. It's a subtraction on the left-hand side. When I move it to the right-hand side, it's an addition. So I get 4x is equal to 3 plus 13. So 4x is equal to 16. And now I want to get rid of the x, the 4. So it's 4 times x. When I move it to the right-hand side, I have to divide by 4. So 16 divided divide by 4 gives me x is equal to 4. I can fill that in to check my answer is correct or not. 3 times 2 times 4 minus 5 minus 2 times 4 minus 1. So I get 3 times 8 minus 5 minus 2 times 3. So 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 times 3 minus 6. So 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. And that is my right hand side. So my answer is correct. Okay. Next example. So again, x appears twice, but in this case, it appears on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. So I have 3x minus 4 is equal to 2x plus 6. What we have to do is we have to group the terms with x on one side and all the other terms on the other side. So I have a 3x here, so I would like to move the 2x to the left-hand side. I have a negative 4 here. I would like to move that one to the right-hand side. I keep the 3x. And on the right-hand side, I have a plus 2x. When I move it to the left-hand side, it becomes a minus 2x. So I keep the 6 on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, I have a minus 4. When I move that to the right-hand side, it becomes a plus 4. So 3x minus 2x is x, and 6 plus 4 is 10. That's the answer. Let's check this answer. So 3 times 10 minus 4 should be equal to 2 times 10 plus 6. So 3 times 10 is 30. Minus 4 should be equal to 20 plus 6. So I get 26 on the left hand side and 26 on the right hand side, and the answer is correct. B. So I have 4 minus 3 times 2 plus x. It's a bit more complicated because it's hard to group the x's on one side. To be able to do that, we have to expand the left hand side first. So I have a 4 minus 3 times 2 is minus 6, minus 3 times x is minus 3x, and that should be equal to the right hand side to the x. So I group all the terms with x to one side and all the other terms on the other side. Since the two constant terms are on the left hand side, it's easier and faster to move only the minus 3x to the right hand side. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. And here on the right hand side I have x. Minus 3x moves to the right hand side, becomes plus 3x. So I have minus 2 is equal to 4x. And then I want to get rid of the 4 here on the right hand side. It's times 4. So when I move it to the left hand side, I have to divide by 4. So minus 2 over 4 should be equal to x, or x is equal to negative 1 over 2. And we can check our answer again. Plugging it in. Minus 3 times 2 and then minus 1 over 2 should be equal to negative 1 over 2. Okay, minus 3 times 2 minus 1 over 2, that is 3 over 2. Yeah, we forgot the 4 here. So 2 minus 1 over 2 is 3 over 2. So I have 4 minus 9 over 2. 4 is 8 over 2. 8 over 2 minus 9 over 2 is minus 1 over 2. And that is what we have on the right hand side. So it's correct.